The first question was to read the work trends from 2018 to 2021 and provide comparison and contrast between the two articles and talk about other relevant and valuable content from the article. So the first thing I want to compare is the way the employers were prioritizing health and wellness for employees in both of the years. Um, the first year, it was more because employers were focusing on health because, many employees were living paycheck to paycheck because of student loans and other financial things. So companies were willing to help employees with their financial wealthiness because they're like, hey, we can pay your student loans and they can help you out a little bit. And also, many employees were just stressed or dealing with other health things. So companies were losing productivity because if you're stressing about work, if you're stressing, it's hard to do your work. So companies started to implement different things, offering counseling, and sometimes HR people would then become like mental health counselors. So the health and wellness aspect is something that companies can benefit from because it helps them retain a talented workforce, and it's also important to add healthcare benefits and wellness initiatives because these factors they weigh heavily. Like if I want a job, I'm going to go to somebody who offers these different type of benefits. So that was something that was very similar within 2018 and 2021. Another thing that was similar is flexibilities. Flexibility. Now and companies started to be more flexible because people were experiencing burnout and people did not want to work because they felt like they were working too long and not getting paid enough money. So to help with that, companies started to issue different avenues for employees to like take time off and try to be healthy. And that's similar with what's happening in 2021 as COVID, the pandemic is being toxic to people, and people want to have more flexibility because some people have children who are not going to school and they're at home now, so they have to be home and take care of their children. And it is very important for companies to kind of stay flexible to retain talent. Now, there's a lot of different things that were going on 2018, 2021. Those are the only things that were really similar to me. The different things that are going on that are important to me and are, I guess, relevant would really be safe work environment, and people want to be safe at work, and if you don't feel like you're safe at work, it's hard to work. So people don't want to risk getting COVID because someone isn't cleaning well or taking temperature checks and making sure people who are sick are not showing up to work. So that was important in 2021. And also, because it was COVID time 2021, virtual culture had to be made. So that means companies had to be innovative and try to find ways to create that culture online. And so there was a lot of online meetings, online networking, online team building exercises just to help with engagement because, for example, I had one of my friends, he works for like a PR agency, and he's never met any of the people he works with, but he's talked with them and they network and stuff on Zoom all the time. So it was really important for companies to emphasize what they're doing to take care of their employees through the difficult times and have that time where people can meet virtually so they can create that company culture. Another thing is the lack of motivation, and then people trying to stay innovative because a lot of people, it's COVID. People don't want to work. People have so much going on in their life. But if we can be innovative as leaders, then success can be made. And a lot of leaders who were innovative and who were motivated, their companies succeeded. And those who were not, their companies failed. So it was really important to be creative and take some calculated risks during COVID or your company would fail. Those were the things that I felt were the trends for 2021 and 2018 that were very important. The second question is discuss the top diversity issues at work and anything that you felt was not addressed in 2021, and then recite the article for this. So this is all from the article. So the different trend that's now occurring is, instead of focusing on reducing bias, trainings are now trying to focus on intervention. And it makes sense, because if you're going to a diversity training, I mean, you probably already know your bias, because you're willing to take that step and go. So it's important to move beyond that, and then put that inclusion into work by doing bystander training. So it's a lot better than just, okay, yeah, I'm aware of this, after training, and then you do nothing when something happens to your workmate that's racist. But now, because of this bystander training, people are more aware, and they want to help and take action, because taking action is the most important thing that happens. Usually people stay silent about things that are unfair to other employees. They kind of just, you know what, I'm going to stay in my own lane. I don't want to step on any toes. But taking action not only shows that you support diversity and that you're aware of your bias, but you also want to help and further do justice to people. And also, another thing was trying to get people who are not managers, other parts of the organization, into the training, because the more people participate, the better it is, and the more impact it makes, because it touches more people, and more people are going to be confident about intervening with peers. Because most of the time, if it's just, no one's just going to go up to their manager and be like, hey man, I think that was kind of rude the way you treated her. I don't think that joke was appropriate. But if you do the training and you gain confidence, then you can intervene and talk to your boss or manager when something happens. Another thing was keeping the workplace issues and not personal. So not taking them out of the home, just keeping them personally. So like, what happens in this workplace that can be sometimes stereotypical or rude, instead of trying to talk about the ways that racism and those things occur outside of the workplace. So I feel like that was very important, because you have more control of what happens in your organization when dealing with issues of diversity than the entire world. And I feel like people are more likely to talk about ways they've been treated, mistreated in the workplace, rather than outside, because you have less control, of course. And another thing was talk about the additional articles you've read and discuss the value of the content. One thing that I loved was the TikTok video from the entrepreneur. He was talking about why reasons most people succeed. And the most important thing to remember as an organization or as a person, what makes you succeed most of the time is going to be that why. Why it is that you do something. And that really spoke to me, because one thing you say was like, if you hire someone who wants money, they'll work because they want that money. But if you hire someone because of what they believe, they're going to put their blood, sweat, and tears into something. And that's really resonated with me, because it's often, you do something. You're at college not because you want to do assignments and turn things in on time and graduate, but you're here because you want to leave your small town and go for your big job, or you want to change the world in some way. So I think remembering that why kind of motivated me, and I want you guys to be motivated as well. So kind of remember why you're doing something, and don't forget that vision. And that's it for this week. Thank you guys for watching. Bye bye.